Hey all, Nicholas Stephan here tonight with another video for Project Wake Up. A little bit of a night owl and it's 2:30 AM in the morning, and in this video I just want to give you a bit of an insight, a bit of background to my comprehension of the law and how it all started. Back in July 2015 I was randomly put into this Facebook group called Get Out of Paying Fines, Fees, Tolls, Rego, etc. And I was just in the same boat like most of the Aussies right now, thinking, nah, there's no way this can be right. There's no way the Australian government could be screwing us over this badly. And yeah, and in that group, there were people posting up some YouTube video links, so I decided to head over and watch them. And some of the videos I was watching were Mark McMurtrie's about the Australian government and what they've been doing to the Aboriginal people, well, the Aborigines over the years. Other people such as Rowan Lauren and Romley Stewart posting status updates in there about the Australian government. Their Glossa Channel videos, which is filmed by a bloke named Robert, and just all on the grammatical side of the fraud of how they use ancient Latin words, but using the English grammar rules manual and to create a dog Latin, debased Latin language, which really is language of the illiterate. And just some of the books that they've referenced in there, grammatical side of the fraud and everything else. Went out and bought myself the Chicago Manuals of Style 16th edition. Also gone out and bought the authorised King James Bible. Also bought the New Oxford Styles Manual, where it tells that all uppercase is ancient classical Latin. And also the notorious Australian Government Styles Manual, 6th edition, 2002. And just over the years, I've also noticed the difference in the crowns that have been used. Looking at our Anzacs badge, where it shows our imperial crown, which is under our de jure Commonwealth of Australia Constitution, 1900 UK, and as you can see right here, you can see the imperial crown. It's a crown with raised arches. Back in 2013, the Australian government minted these $2 coins. First coin up here is the St Edward's crown, as you can notice here with the dipped arches, and that was to commemorate Queen Elizabeth's anniversary on her coronation, 1953 to 2013, which is 60th year anniversary. And what we've got here is our imperial, our de jure Commonwealth crown to commemorate Queen Victoria and her 175th anniversary of coronation with this crown. So just going back here to the Anzac crown, our imperial crown, you can see right here with the raised arches, and nowadays with the Tasmanian government and the Australian Defence Force, you'll notice that they have this St Edward's crown, dipped arches. And also with Queen Elizabeth II's coronation, even though she wore her St Edward's crown, this is a photo of her coronation Bible, and as you can see right there, if you can see it all, you can see our imperial crown. So I'm not quite sure if she got crowned the monarch of both of those kingdoms, both of the imperial and St Edward's crown. And just over the years, I've been talking, calling, emailing other blokes all around Australia, and especially another bloke here in Tassie who's quite well switched on with what's happening around here. And back in March earlier this year in 2017, me and a good mate of mine from Hobart, Cameron, we both travelled to the mainland, Sydney, to meet up with some other like-minded Australians. Met up with a few good blokes at a pub with Rowan, Lauren, Glenn, John, Jason, Keith, Danny, and yeah, a bunch of good blokes that are pretty well switched on to what's happening around Australia. And just over the last couple of years, everything I've learnt and every question I've had that I want answered, I've asked lawyers, I've asked the police, I've asked courts, I've asked local MPs, politicians, and they've just all refused to answer those questions of my concern, or just try and buy the way around it, uttering some garbage. Just a few months ago, started up a fortnightly law meet here in Launceston. Every second Thursday, so tomorrow the 16th, we'll be meeting at the Plough Inn pub in Launceston, which is across the road from Village Cinemas, at 6 p.m. And anyone's free to attend. We've created a Launceston community law group, and we meet up on the top floor. Get there anywhere between 6:30, and meetings usually last about an hour and a half, 2 hours tops. And also over the past few months, I've also done up my double-sided flyer. If you live in Newnham, or you've seen around town handing these out, you've most certainly got one. Just a couple of things on there. It's got our de jure Commonwealth coat of arms, being the lion and the unicorn, not the corporate Australian government emu kangaroo, which is registered to the US Patent and Trademark Office. And just a few things on there. I've put the preamble of our Constitution on there, just a couple easy questions. Is the Australian government the same government as it was at Federation? I've covered on that quite heavily in my past few videos. Just the difference in the crowns and the two different kingdoms, United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland, which is our de jure Commonwealth. And with the administrators, St Edward's, they're under the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And just on the back of this document right here, I've just got a heading saying, what if I was to tell you that no piece of legislation passed since 1901 may be valid? And it's got a few good arguing points there, such as does not carry the correct royal seal and assent, does not abide by the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution 1900 and its letters patent 1900, does not abide by the Commonwealth Statutory Rules Orders 15A, does not abide by the authorised King James Bible, which is from where our de jure Commonwealth is born out of, no referendum via Section 128 of our Commonwealth Constitution, members of Parliament must be sworn in correctly, so all that whole dual citizen bungle going on right now. Must carry the correct proper wax seal and be passed by the Imperial Crown of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. And just down here, where a good friend of mine here in Tassie's argued this in the Devonport Magistrates Court, he had his whole case dismissed because prosecution couldn't provide the facts and evidence to back up that the laws being passed since 1901 that they're relying to prosecute him on have not received the correct royal seal and sent according to law, and these other points. And just at the bottom of it, I've just put a few good reference points. So if you've got this flyer and you looked up some of this stuff, good on you. And also just recently, over the past couple of nights, because as the night owl I am, I've done up a 3-page double-sided 60-question questionnaire, which I'll be having at our fortnightly law meet tomorrow night at the Plough Inn pub. And just in here, I've got a few things on it. A few verdicts from the Nuremberg trials. There's 60-odd questions in there. And also, again, my mate's court case and those arguments to use to get prosecution to provide the facts and evidence that the laws that they rely upon are actually valid at law, and they have every lawful right to prosecute you. And here in December, I'll be heading back up to Sydney again with my partner and our 2 housemates. Meet up with Glenn, John, Danny and Rowan and any other like-minded people. Meet there at the pub, and hope this has some of you Australians thinking to what's going on. And to be completely honest, not to feel like a bad person, a bad man or anything, but it's about time this country wakes up to what's happening. I do this out of love for my fellow man.